So we have a bit of a breaking news update for you, and unfortunately, it's not a good one if you are a tennis fan or be expecting to see a competitive start to the Grand Slam calendar in 2024. Rafael Nadal has been ruled out of the 2024 Australian Open. That is bad news any which way you look at it. But before we delve into how bad it is, really, we'll quickly, let's say, take a look at what it is that Nadal himself has said, because he's confirmed this on his own social media. He's taken to Twitter, X if you want to go by its current name, and put out a statement. He said that, "Hi all, during my last match in Brisbane, I had a small problem on my muscle that, as you know, made me worried. Once I got to Melbourne, I had the chance to make an MRI and I have a micro tear on the muscle, not in the same part where I had the injury, and that's good news. But right now, I'm not ready to compete at the maximum level of exigence in 5-set matches. I'm flying back to Spain to see my doctor, get some treatment, and rest." He further adds that, "I've worked very hard during the year for this comeback, and as I always mention, my goal is to be at my best level in 3 months. With the sad news for me, not being able to play in front of the crowds in Melbourne, it's not very bad news, but we can remain positive with the evolution for the season." He concludes by saying, "I really wanted to play here in Australia, and I've had the chance to play a few matches that made me very happy and positive. Thanks for all the support, and see you soon." So, let's just quickly break it down. He's had an injury, a muscle tear, as was expected. In fact, he had said, there was a major source of worry when he did get injured, because it was in the exact same area where he had been suffering an injury from, in this particular case, for the whole of last year, or whole of 2023, pretty much he lost to that muscle injury in his left leg. The good news, as he revealed, is that it is not really good. It's not really in the same place where he got injured the last time around. So it's a different muscle that he's injured. Of course, hardly ideal that it is yet another muscle injury, and we don't really know what the timeline is for his return. He said very clearly that, "I'm going to go back to my doctor, assess, and see where it is I stand." So we don't really know where exactly his timeline is for a return. Yet the biggest bit of bad news, if you're a tennis fan, if you were expecting a competitive Grand Slam, you were hoping that Rafael Nadal somehow stays fit, gets through. Yes, he hadn't played a year's worth of tennis, but he's still that one player who, you know, that when it comes to the big games, can upset anyone, and that includes a dominant Djokovic. Right now, though, what this means is that Djokovic is pretty much guaranteed a pretty easy run to the title unless something changes. And again, I'm not going to be that person and put a dampener on the rise of a new star. Maybe an Alcaraz, can continue to, let's say, be at his giant beating best. Maybe he can actually solidify himself. But you would have wanted a Nadal in the mix as well, and it's a major problem. And what's really sad is that Nadal already has said that, "Look, 2024 is most likely going to be my last year on the ATP Tour circuit." So that means that his last year, what could be his swan song, has started on a very negative note, on yet another injury coming and denying him a few more months. I mean, it does add a lot of question marks as well as to whether or not his body can even take it anymore, being able to compete at that level, because he played a few matches in the Brisbane International. One was a doubles match, there were a couple of singles matches, and whilst he did look good, obviously that ability, that physicality that's needed to consistently play five-setters, something that only comes with consistent practice, something that Nadal definitely didn't have. And once he suffered that injury, everyone was really hoping for the best, but fearing the absolute worst, and the worst has now been confirmed. There's not going to be any Rafael Nadal in the Australian Open. I'll take your leave for now, but thank you guys so much for joining us on this breaking news video. Again, if you enjoy our work, please don't forget, like, share, subscribe, tap that bell, leave us a comment, follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. Don't forget to download the AajTak app, and if you're already on the channel, go ahead, check out some other videos we've done as well. For now, from my side, it's goodbye.